You can grow double the yield of what you get in your spring garden and fix the soil in your garden at the same time, especially clay soil. Did I mention to achieve both of these goals? You don't need to do any additional work other than your usual garden tasks. Today, I will share 15 different plants that will not only help you achieve this goal, but also provide you harvest till April of next year. We will start with how these plants can increase your harvest, and later in this video, I will explain how to use them to fix your soil. In fact, at the end, I will show you the amazing root behavior which helps the soil. You probably read about it, but you are going to see it in action now. There is a simple trick that you need to apply to all of these plants to make it work. Let me show it how. I grew these daikon radishes in spring of 2021. You can see that the radish is hardly 4 inches long compared to the average 12 inches size. It was woody, and leaves are not much to brag about either. Even with other smaller radish varieties, in spring, half of them bolt and make flowers. This happens because the temperature gets warmer as the spring season moves on, which signals the plants to make seeds. In 2022, I sowed daikon radish in June and July. My goal was to grow it as a cover crop, but it ended up being the best radishes I ever grew, with no extra work. These ones grew much bigger in size, without getting woody, and when we hit cool fall temperatures, the radishes grew sweeter. It happens so because the plant gets in survival mode when the temperatures begin to cool down. Plants notice the drop in temperature and in daily sunlight as summer turns into fall. This signals to plants that winter is coming and they need to survive it. So, instead of making flowers, plants start storing energy in their roots in the form of carbohydrates. Because of this, the roots grow bigger in size without getting woody. As soon as frost hits, the plants break down some of these stored carbs into sugar, because sugar acts as an antifreeze for the plants. This is why fall and winter vegetables taste sweeter after a few frosts. We experienced it firsthand with carrots and turnips as well. Here is a yield of carrots in spring. Compare it to what we harvested in fall. Exact amount of effort as a spring garden, but we got bigger and better tasting carrots in fall. A pro tip to get carrots to germinate in hot July is to cover it with an old lampshade after sowing. This keeps the moisture in for longer duration, which helps with germination. If I keep sowing carrots over next few weekends, I can get carrot harvest for several weeks during winter months. We harvested turnips all the way into January this year, and it tasted so good. Same rules apply to it as for carrots and radishes. Here is a beetroot that I grew in spring last year. I allowed it to grow bigger in size, but when I harvested it, this is what I found. There was a split on the other side, and it was woody. This year, I am harvesting the spring batch at a small to medium size and sowing the next batch already. You can see I already have germination. Kohlrabi is a weird but special vegetable. It is in Brassica family, but the swelling stem it makes follows the same rules in fall that the root vegetables do. So, as cold weather approaches, they will grow bigger and sweeter. I am harvesting the spring batch right now, and I already have the next batch sprouting. I will transplant these seedlings in first half of August. I have these kale and chard seedlings ready to transplant. They thrive as the temperatures cool down, and these are powerhouse of nutrients. You can sow these now and use varieties like red Russian kale and Ford Hook Swiss chard because these stand the cold weather better. These also get sweeter when the temperature drops. There is less pest pressure as the temperatures drops and gives a chance for these leaves to grow bigger with less pest damage. I will provide them with extra water while transplanting to make sure they survive the summer heat. I have a video on more hacks for when transplanting seedlings in summer. I will link it in description for you to check later. I will direct sow mustard as well. Mustard is a great cover crop and a very strong tasting vegetable. I love the red mustard because of the spiciness it brings. You can also do other Asian veggies such as bok choy and tatsoi. I want to show you this broccoli magic from a couple of falls ago. I already harvested the main head, but I got enough broccoli from side shoots, which together were the same size as the main head itself. These tasted delicious and the plant kept producing side shoots until January. So definitely add broccoli to your list. I also started seeds for cauliflower and cabbages last week. They do great in fall as well. I would also add Napa cabbage to this list because it is such an easy crop to grow. Because of the same concept I explained earlier about cool fall weather, all the brassica vegetables grow bigger in fall. I grow fava beans because it is a great cover crop and it tastes delicious. Fava bean is also called as broad beans and it is one tough bean. It can tolerate temperatures as low as 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So these won't get killed when first frost hits my garden. I sow them in March and harvest them by mid of June. I am planting the next batch now for a fall harvest. Pro tip: you can easily find fava beans in a Mediterranean grocery store. I always get it from there. Leek was a big surprise for me. I have been trying to grow it for the past 3 years, but I never got that perfect leek until this year. It was because I figured out that I was harvesting it at the wrong time. Let me show it. I usually sow leek in April. This year I am running late, so I sowed the seeds about a week ago. Once these are as thick as a pencil, which will be in 2 to 3 months, I will transplant these in ground. I need to do this before the ground freezes. Then I have to leave it alone till next spring. In April, when it is hunger gap period, which means there is nothing ready to harvest in the garden, these leeks will be ready to harvest. All the plants that we discussed so far in this video are frost tolerant, which means they will survive many frosts. So it is safe to start them now and not worry about frost, which is why these are the best plants to start in July for a fall garden. But these bush beans surprised me in September when they gave a big harvest, so late in the season. Following this lead, I always sow bush beans in June and July. This one is from June and I already see flowers on it. And these two are from first week of July. This is a warm weather crop, so the very first frost will kill it. The trick here is simple to handle this problem. For me, in Kansas, Zone 6B, the first frost happens around October 20th. These beans need about 60 days to produce a harvest. I will give it an additional 10 days to account for an early frost. So if I sow these beans today in the middle of July, the 70th day from now will be the last week of September. This means I can still sow these today. You can use this same tip to calculate if you have about 70 days before your last frost date or not. If you do, sow right now the bush beans, smaller size varieties for zucchini, and cucumbers to get a great harvest in September. No one leaves a carrot behind, but we do leave daikon radish and turnips in ground when we have an excess of these. The daikon radish eventually decomposes in soil, which adds organic matter and helps break down our clay soil. Turnips survive winter in our Zone 6B garden, so I let some of them make flowers in spring. This provides early food to bees and free seeds to us for next season. As soon as seeds are ready, we will thrash the whole seed stock in our garden in June, and you can see we already have many turnip plants coming up. It is like closing the loop if you think of permaculture concepts. The brassicas, leeks, and every other plant that stays in our garden in winter months provides food for the microorganisms in our soil. This improves the overall health of our soil. For the warm weather crops that get killed by the first frost, we use the plant remains in our garden by chopping and dropping it. This adds organic matter to the clay soil. Fava beans fixes nitrogen in soil if we don't let it make beans. So we let a few plants make beans, while others are chopped and dropped to conserve the nitrogen in soil. Even the ones that make beans provide a lot of stem and leaves that can be either added to a compost pile or chopped and dropped into the garden to add organic matter, which improves the overall soil health. In fact, let me pull these spring fava beans out. I usually don't pull my plants out, but I need to show you this. Look at the roots and the tiny knots that it has. These tiny knots are the nitrogen that this plant has fixed. I will let all of these fava bean plants be in the soil and let them die off naturally. This way the nitrogen is released in the soil and enriches my soil. Together, all of these practices have helped us improve our clay soil. It used to be compact with no organic matter. But now it is soft, has lots of organic matter in it, and doesn't compact. If you're thinking you don't have enough space to add these plants in your garden right now, watch this video which explains a garden planning strategy to solve your space problem. Trust me, you do have the space. This video will help you see it. Check it out next. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Even a simple like helps this channel a lot. A comment would be even better.